Hey, how's it going? Welcome back, everybody. I'm just going to start us off saying this week I once again almost forgot to do this because I had friends that I was hanging out with until about it's 11:17 right now. Until about 10 minutes ago, I was hanging out playing some games with friends. I did not have gameplay planned. I didn't have a commentary planned. I didn't have a name for this week planned. And I was looking at it thinking I might not even have time to do this before past midnight. And I went, actually, that's kind of perfect. I think I'll dub this then the week of chill. So getting straight into that, because this week was more or less chill for me, which has been a nice break, a nice swap in how things have been more recently. But just to start off, I've been thinking about this and my ideas and philosophies around this channel and what I'm doing. And I'm always there's a thought in the back of my mind like, I just take the first two or three games I play, pick the best one of them, and I'm not getting kill streaks. I'm not going crazy in them. It's not like a standard gameplay commentary. I mean, tonight's I'm playing Spec Ops because I played like three games and they were okay, and then found out I wasn't recording. And then I tried to play a couple more, and the lobbies were, three or four players on each team, and there's people suspected using wall hacking, and there's just it didn't feel like it was going to be a good night for multiplayer. I've also kind of discovered that some of the reason I'm not great at the game, but another reason why I'm having trouble is that I've got terrible ping. It seems there were some times I was sniping and I hit them dead center and they didn't die, and one time where I landed a shot 3 feet to his left and I got a headshot off of it. And so there's only so much you can do. I'm still want to do multiplayer gameplay for the most part, and it doesn't need to be perfect, right? I think this channel, again, it's not about the gameplay. It's not about me. It's not about getting a following. It's just about documenting my life as it comes, 1 week at a time. So I'm not too concerned about that, but I do keep it in the back of my mind. Now, let's talk about this week. So I don't really have any plans other than just talking about what happened and maybe what's upcoming. If you see me stopping for an extended period of times in the gameplay, if you're watching, I was actually in the middle of talking politics and economics and stuff with friends during this, so every so often I'd look over at the Discord screen share or something that's going on, and that helps to get the time up a little bit because this is going to be a somewhat short one. But yeah, first on the list, yesterday was Valentine's Day, and much like my friend who has a fiance and was supposed to get her a card, I forgot. I just didn't realize it was coming up. I mentioned it last week, so I knew back then. But it was the day before the day of, Friday or Saturday, and I went, oh yeah, I guess Valentine's Day is coming. And it was it's nice in a way that I didn't have to worry about it. There were no expectations that I was getting gifts and flowers and cards and this or that. It would have been nice, right? Like, I think the semi-stress or just like planning and thought that goes into that makes up, or is completely justified and made up for the fact that you have someone to spend it with. But I've done that for so many years in a row that, it's fine to take a year off. I have no issue with that. But again, the week was so chill, I just didn't think about it. When I started the week, my work plan said I had 7 hours of work. And unfortunately, I can't just put hours into sitting around doing nothing. So it kind of sucked that I didn't have a ton of stuff to do. I barely made the 40. And if my boss or anyone has problems with it, that's a little bit on them because I pulled like a 50-hour week the week before. So hopefully they start to schedule it out better and I start to fill up my plate a bit more. But it'll be what it'll be. And then this weekend, man, this is the first weekend I had basically fully off. I played some Lorcana, the Disney trading card game, today for a release event where I'm not going to get into it, but I think one of my opponents was cheating. I think he was either drawing extra cards or drawing cards when I wasn't looking. But whatever, it's a game. I can't be bothered with that. It was for like a $6 pack is the prize for it, so I don't care too much. But I had tons of time. So yesterday, I finally beat Witcher 3 fully. I was playing the Blood and Wine DLC, and I finally beat that one. So Witcher 3, off my list. Today, I spent a lot of it getting the final achievements in Danganronpa 2. I have technically 3 achievements left, but really it's like 2 main ones. And then I've beaten that game, so I just have to beat a side game, and then I finally get to go on to like 100% the side game. I've beaten it before, the spin-off. And then I get to go on to the third one, which is the last one currently out. I've mentioned this multiple times, and I cannot wait to play it. So I'm hoping to get that done soonish. And I've got a couple other games coming up later on. It was nice. I have recently just been, when I had no time, or not no time, when I had free time, I was playing League of Legends. And yesterday, I said, no, I'm not going to play League, I'm going to play Witcher. And I pushed through it, and I had fun, obviously. And so today when I woke up, I didn't go, I want to play League. I went, no, I want to pick up and finish another game. I want to start to get these things off my list, because that felt nice. So it was cool to have that. I had some extra time last night as I was waiting in between. And funny enough, when I finished Witcher, I was going to play some League with friends. So I did some working out. I had a shower after. I cleaned up, did like a weekly maintenance of my apartment. I gotta stop looking away from the mic when I'm talking because it's gonna change the sound, and the sound's already not great because I'm not really controlling it. But yeah, I just had some time to do that to kind of relax, keeping the place a bit cleaner. I'm wearing slides around the house so my feet feel. I'm not trekking in dirt. I'm keeping the inside shoes on the inside and the outside stuff outside. So that's felt pretty good, keeping the kitchen clean and all that. I've got some plans I've got a list of books I'm going to read. I want to do some more music stuff, some singing, some piano. Again, as I mentioned, playing through games. We'll see how busy this next week is. I assume it's going to be a bit busier, but it seems like it's still a low period in work, so we'll find out what that looks like. I'll use the other time for, like I said, books and whatnot. The final thing I do want to talk about before I run out of time, because it looks like I'm getting out here, is that I'm going to finally properly enact a 3-month plan. It's been about a year. A year ago, I went on a 3-month diet where I said I'm going to hardcore diet for 3 months to lose 20 pounds before my friend's wedding. And I did it. I fully cut out soda. I drank nothing but water and like sparkling waters. I limited my food intake and I worked out a bunch. I lost 20 pounds in three months, but in 12 weeks, right? So over 1.5 pounds a week. I want to do that again. I want to lose 30 pounds, or what I should say is I don't care about the weight if I happen to gain muscle or something here or there. I want to lose my belly fat because I'm actually sick of it. I look in the mirror and I do not like how I look. So I have a soda addiction. I don't do drugs or alcohol or anything like that, but I've got an insane addiction for soda or just sugary drinks. And so I'm going to I've got a little bit left in my fridge, and I'm going to say no more of that. No more chips, no more dessert. I'm doing the same thing I did last year where I'm just going to cut it all out cold turkey. If I let myself even have a little bit, I think I'm going to relapse. I've got a little bit of maybe not an addictive personality, but a soft spot for that. So I'm saying this here so that I can hold myself accountable. I think I'm going to tell like a person or two, like a friend, just enough to be like, hey, I'm doing something. I want to be somewhat held accountable, but I don't want to like make it super public and everything because I don't like drawing that sort of attention to myself. I want to do it because I want to. So I'm hoping that in 3 months, if I keep up the working out, the eating right or eating less, consuming, drinking less sugary stuff, I will be able to like myself and my body more. And then I'm going to do like a mini wardrobe renovation or just like what I wear on a daily basis, how I present myself. I want to just be a bit more relaxed and happy with myself. And I think doing this plan is going to be good. And then instead of last year where once I did, I was like, okay, well now I'm allowed to have a soda here or there or some extra food. I started that and then I just fully let myself slide to where I've gained back all that weight and maybe a bit more. And I don't feel good again about it. So I'm going to try to, at that point, similar to my apartment, just maintain it. Keep maybe tracking calories or tracking exercise or whatnot. But keep it at a more healthier rate so that I'm not losing weight. I'm just sticking where I am. Or if I need to gain a little bit more, lose a bit more, whatever. I know it's possible. I did it before. It kind of sucked at the start, but I got used to it, and I just kind of pushed through the last month and a half or 2 months once I did it. So it's going to be like 2 weeks of not great. But I know that I'm going to be much happier because of it in the end. And it looks like I'm getting to the end here. I got to think about something for the last 15 seconds. I've got a busy weekend coming up. Got a friend who's turning 21 on Wednesday. According to my calendar, I'm supposed to take him to Italy. Haven't booked those tickets, so yikers, that's going to suck. Could be real expensive. But yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend, but I'm looking forward to it a little bit, and I'll still find time for other things, I'm sure. So hope everyone has a great week, and I'll see you later.